Is she to be buried in Christian burial that willfully seeks her own salvation?
I tell thee, she is, and therefore make her grave straight. The crowner hath sat upon her.
How can that be so, unless she drown herself in her own defense?
Why, 'tis found so.
For here lies the point. If I drown myself wittingly, it argues an act. Argal, she drowned herself wittingly.
Nay, but hear me, good man.
Give me leave. He that is not guilty of his own death shortens not his own life.
But is this law?
Aye, it's coroner's quest law.
Will you have the truth, aunt? If this had not been a gentlewoman, she should have been buried out of Christian burial.
Why, there thou sayest, and the more pity that great folk in this world should have the countenance to drown and hang themselves more than they're even Christian. Come, my spade. There are no gentlemen in this world other than gardeners, ditchers, and grave diggers. They hold up Adam's profession.
Why, was he a gentleman?
He was the first that ever bore arms.
Why, he had none.
What, art a heathen? The scripture says Adam digged. How could he dig without any arms? I'll put a question to thee.
Go to.
What is he that builds stronger than the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
The gallows maker, for that outlives 1,000 tenants.
I like thy wit well. The gallows maker does thee well. Yet thou dost ill to say that the gallows maker does better than the church. Argal, come again.
Who builds stronger than the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
Aye, Mary, tell me that and unyoke.
Marry, now I can tell.
To it,
Mass, I cannot tell.
cudgel thy brains about it no more. When the next person asks you this question, answer, the grave digger, for the houses he make last until the doomsday. Go, get thee to Yoggin, fetch me a stoop of liquor. In youth when I did love, methought it was very sweet.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business that he sings at grave making?
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
'Tis e'en so, the hand of little employment hath the daintier sense. That skull had a tongue in it, could sing once. How the knave jowls it to the ground as if it were Cain's job who did the first murder. It might be the pain of a politician which this ass now o'erreaches when they would circumvent God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Why, e'en so. And now my lady's worms, chapless knocked about the mazard of the sexton's spade. He has fine revolution, and we had the trick to see it.
Aye, my lord.
This fellow might be in his time a great buyer of land, with his statutes, his recognizances, his fines, his double vouchers, his recoveries. Is this the fine of his fines and recovery of his recoveries to have his fine paid for the fine dirt? But his vouchers vouch him no more of his purchases, and double ones too than the length and breadth of a pair of indentures. His very conveyances of land will hardly lie in this box, and must the inheritor himself have no more.
Not a jot more, my lord.
Is not parchment made of sheepskins?
Aye, my lord, and of calfskins too.
They are sheep and calves which seek out assurance in that. I will speak to this fellow. Whose grave's this, sirrah?
Mine, sir.
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in't.
For my part, I do not lie in't, and yet it is mine. For here's a skull now. This skull has lain in the earth some 23 years.
Whose was it?
That same skull was Yorick, sir, the king's gesture.
This?
Even so.
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him well, Horatio. A fellow of most infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now, how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rims at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looketh as fashion in the earth?
Even so.
And smelt so.
Even so, my lord.
Why may we not trace the noble dust of Alexander till we find it stopping a bunghole?
'Twere to consider, too curiously, to consider so.
No, faith, not a jot. But to follow him thither with modesty enough and likelihood to lead it. As thus, Alexander died, Alexander was buried, Alexander returneth to dust, the dust is earth, and of earth we make loam, and why of that loam whereto he was converted might they not stop a beer barrel? But soft, here come the queen and the courtiers. Who is this they follow, and with such maimed rides? Couch we a while and mark.
What ceremony out?
That is the art, he is a very noble youth.
What ceremony out?
Her death was doubtful.
Must there no more be done?
Doubts.
Lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring, and tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be, when thou liest howling.
What? The fair Ophelia.
Sweets to the sweet, farewell.
Oh, treble, wow, fall 10 times treble on that cursed head, whose wicked deeds did thy most ingenious sense deprive thee of. Hold off the earth awhile till I've caught her one more time in mine arms. I'll pile your dust upon the quick and dead, till a flat a mountain you have made to overtop old Pelion, with the skyish blue of blue Olympus.
Whose grief bears such an emphasis, whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wondering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded hearers. This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
The devil take thy soul!
Praise not well, prithee, take thy fingers from my throat, hold off thy hand. Why, I will fight him until my eyelids will no longer wag.
Upon what theme, my son?
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not, with all their quantity of love, make up my sum.